toasting up our chilies for our chili powder. For our chili, much better than the pre-ground chili powder. I used to use it all the time, but now I roast up my own. There's all kinds of different chilies out there. These are hatch chilies from New Mexico. They're pretty mild chili. Right here, hatch chilies from New Mexico. That way, I like a little spicier one, but I just add a little extra hot sauce and stuff to mine to make it a little spicier. But my wife and one of my sons does not like it very spicy. So that way we make everybody happy. But we want to toast these up. And I'm going to make a chili powder out of them. They're kind of tough, the skins. I'd let them cool after we toast them up. But they don't do too well in a food processor dry or a blender dry, even though I have a Vitamix and a pretty good food processor. But they will as a paste if you add some fluid to it, liquids, but not as a dry powder. So I have an old coffee grinder. I will grind them up in to make a powder out of. It has a little more power and can grind up these tough skins and make a nice fine powder, like chili powder like you're used to. But I add a lot of flavor to chili using fresh chilies versus the pre-ground stuff. Okay, we're starting to do the chili. Now I'm gonna make chili in the Instant Pot, and I could just dirty one pot and do the saute function in the Instant Pot. But I have a little bit more, it's a little easier for filming here in this pan for the browning, and I have a little bit more space to make it go a little quicker. So I use that pan earlier and I just rinsed it out, so I gotta do a deep washing of it. So that's what I did when I did the the chilies. That was the pan I used, and all I've done is rinse it out. So anyway, I've got about 2 pounds of meat here, and I got another pound of meat. Kind of breaking this up. Get my other package of meat. See, what we're going to do is just brown this up, and when we get about 75 to 80% way brown, I'll add onions and peppers and saute them in the fat that's in here. May drain off some of the fat after that, and then we'll be adding it all to the Instant Pot and adding in all the seasoning. Okay, the browning's coming along pretty good. We're about 70–75% of the way there. I'm going to go ahead and add the onions and peppers that I've already chopped up. Just bringing a board over to make it a little easier. And scrape them in there. And I'm just going to kind of mix those in. Let them saute a little bit. Let the meat continue to brown a little bit more. And once the meat's nice and brown, it won't necessarily be cooked all the way, and the flavor won't be the chili. I'm going to go ahead and add the seasonings, which I've already pre-measured out. Added with my chili powder. So I've got all the other seasonings in here: salt, pepper, cocoa powder, which is one of the secret ingredients I use, is cocoa powder. Use dark or non-dark. This is dark cocoa powder. But I've got all the seasonings already mixed in there. So I can just do one dump and go, already measured out. So we are getting there pretty fast. I think we can go ahead and do the dump now of the seasonings and mix that all in and just incorporate it pretty well. And then we'll be moving everything to the Instant Pot. In just a few minutes after I get this all mixed in pretty good. A little bit more sauteing too, for the, even though the onions and peppers will cook during the pressure cook phase really well. The onion's about to disintegrate. Even though I did a rough chop. So there we go, we're getting pretty good. And when I come back, we'll be doing the Instant Pot. Okay, I've transferred the meat, peppers, and onions over to the Instant Pot. I'm dumping in the diced tomatoes. It's a 28-ounce can. Just dumping that right in. We'll be putting in, I need to put in a couple of bay leaves as well, a shot of Worcestershire. I've got all that right close by here in the same cabinets. So putting in about a couple tablespoons of Worcestershire. Grabbing my bay leaves, which seem to, there they are. Just put those, actually I'm gonna leave those so I can put them right on top. Okay, I'll add those in just a few minutes. I'll see them there. We add beans to ours as well. We're gonna add 3 kinds of beans. We're adding a can of black beans I'm starting with. Doesn't matter which order. That's what I grabbed first. So there's some black beans. Now I'm grabbing a can of chili kidney beans. Basically, they're just in a sauce that kind of been pre-flavored chili. I'm not draining it. The sauce doesn't taste bad. It'll add a little flavor. Just kidney beans with the sauce there. If they were in that salty fluid, you might want to drain them and rinse them. And now I've got a can of pinto beans that I'm opening. And I just spilt some of the fluid. I'm going to have to go grab a rag after this. Okay. I'm just adding the fluid right there. Okay, since this is an Instant Pot, I wouldn't do this with my regular chili recipe. We like it really thick. But I have to add a little more liquid. So I'm adding 1 cup of beef broth. Just to give enough liquid for it to pressurize and not burn on the bottom. Kind of mixing it in, even though the tomatoes did have some juice in them. And the beans a little bit too, so I'll put the juices of the beans in there. But we need a little bit more liquid. So the key here is I'm not going to go high pressure. I'm going 30 minutes on low pressure. So I will now pressurize it. Just going to put the lid on. Hit pressure. I'm going to have to change the setting. See. Normal. Less. Okay. I've gone less. Now I need to go down to 30 minutes. I have it on pressure less. So now we will go. And we'll wait till it dings and then we'll do a natural release for about 10 minutes. For chili, I've just turned on the saute feature. That's why it's boiling so hard. It just finished pressuring. It's very soupy, much soupier than we like it. So I'm adding a cornstarch slurry to it just to thicken it up some now, since I had to add the beef broth and for the Instant Pot. We like our chili a little thicker, so I'm just gonna thicken it up a little bit. We like a really thick chili. If you like your chili soupy, then it's perfect, just the way it comes out of the Instant Pot. But since you have to add the extra fluid, it's just a little too soupy for us. So we're gonna thicken it up a little bit. And I think we're already getting there. I can just go ahead and turn that off. It's plenty hot enough. And I'll be showing the serving up plate soon. Now I'm cooking some rice. We sometimes eat it with rice. We sometimes eat it with noodles or pasta. And I usually eat mine with some tortilla chips. That's probably what I'm gonna do, but my wife and the family wants rice with theirs tonight. And then we just top it with different toppings, cheese, cilantro, some diced onions, some diced jalapenos. So we just have the works on the side to top it with. Well, here's our final shot of our chili served up, topped with the works here. I've got some chips down there buried in mine, some tortilla chips, and cilantro, jalapenos, some cheese, and some chopped up onions. So it'll be good.